Hello, everyone. Here we are today. We're at Jennifer's live stream corner where I offer real estate insights and beyond. So, beyond today, I'm with Victor Turbes, who is a financial advisor for Northwest Mutual. Victor, hello.
Hey Jennifer, how you doing today?
I'm good. I mean, it's Halloween. So, there's nothing better to be like kind of spooking people out live here.
Yeah, you just got all the energy. I'm not seeing the spook yet, but I can see the energy there for sure.
Anybody who truly knows me knows I fly on a broom. Okay, so that's where. And anybody listening, you can make that in the comments. Anybody knows that.
Fuel efficient, right?
So listen. Why I have you on today is because money, retirement, investment. We can keep going on with words. And I guess what is a financial advisor? What is it that you actually do?
So that's a great question. Financial advisors really do a wealth of things. You're going to meet some financial advisors who focus primarily on the risk management side, making sure you have appropriate life insurance, disability insurance, emergency funds, those pieces. Other financial advisors you're going to come across, I consider them more like wealth management advisors. They help you accumulate assets, accumulate wealth, those kind of things. I think one of the things that separates us with Northwestern Mutual is we do the risk management, we do the wealth management side of it, but then we also take a look in the middle. And a lot of the folks we meet are doing some really, really great things, and they're just scared to talk about it. So we have the conversation, and as we dive into what they're doing, we just take a look at where they can be more efficient. At the end of the day, we know in the United States, you're going to get taxed on something.
Yes.
And how deep Uncle Sam can dig into your pockets is something that really scares people. So we try to help people with good decisions about where they place their money so that they're being as tax efficient as possible and getting to keep more of their dollars than, being as inefficient. Nothing illegal, none of that kind of stuff. It's just
right.
Taking a look at, where X dollar is going. Is that the right place for X dollar today? That sort of thing. And at the end of the day, my goal is to get out, meet as many people as I can, build great relationships. And if I get to impact a life or two every day, it's a good day.
Yeah. See, you're good, Victor. That's why I have you here. So, how are you going to help clients navigate all this? Honestly, because when you start talking about wealth or retirement and all this, or saving up for school, for college, and all these different things, do you put it in real estate? What do you do with your money? But at the same time, most people don't know who to talk to, so how do you help somebody navigate to kind of get to you?
So I think it's most important in what I do is money is such a personal decision. If I were to say to you, hey, Jennifer, you have two options. You can show me what's in your bank account, or you can show me what's in your medicine cabinet. I can almost guarantee you that 90% of the people I talk to will be like, these are all the pills that are in my medicine cabinet. Choose, pick one.
Scary, but true, isn't it?
Yeah. And that money piece is that really personal,
personal.
Everybody thinks they're going to get judged the second they walk in the door. I joke around with people who work with me. I say, listen, I'm the Planet Fitness of financial advisors. Come to me as you are. If I can help you, I'll help you. If I can't, I can't. But at the end of the day, I think it's that building that relationship. My first meetings with folks, we start talking about numbers in the last 10 or 15 minutes. But the first 45 minutes of a prospect meeting, it's all about building a relationship, getting to know you. I spend half an hour getting to know your hopes, your dreams, your goals, figuring out where your priorities are, those pieces of it. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to meet with somebody, if you're going to give up your time and eventually your money and those kind of things, you want to make sure that whatever product is put out to you, or whatever outcome plan, et cetera, that's put out to you, it's personalized to you. And at the end of the day, I think there's a lot of cookie cutter, hey, this plan looks good for this type of person. This type of plan looks good for this type of person. So it's really about that customization and that personalization. And then once we put that plan in place and we start activating that plan, we start building on that plan. It's not like I'm going to say goodbye and never talk to you again.
Right.
Every person who comes and becomes a client of mine, they'll tell you from beginning to end, at the end of the day, I say to them, I go, listen, You're not just joining Northwestern Mutual. You're joining my family. Here's my cell phone number. Here are my kids.
Right.
Blah. You're my family now.
Right.
So I like being there, being your cheerleader. Sometimes I might tell you to make some different decisions, coach you in the right direction. But at the end of the day, I want to be your biggest advocate. I want to help people get successful, be successful, because the more
Right.
success we have in this world, the more it spreads, the happier people are, and we have some fun.
Right. And it's interesting you use the word coach, because so many people think of as a coach, other words, coach of maybe the Yankees or the Dodgers, but a coach of being somebody who is actually working with a sports team.
Mhm.
And what you do is you're coaching clients regarding what they should do best that would suit them with their wants and needs for their money. Is
No, 100%. There's two comparisons I use. So typically when I'm talking about the planning process, I talk about in the terms of like football. So when you think about football, you have an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, a special teams coordinator, but then you have a head coach.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, my clients are really the head coach. At the end of the day, they make the final decisions. But
Right.
just like in football, the offensive coordinator, the special teams coordinator, the defensive coordinator, they all give their input to the head coach. And then the head coach
Right.
makes the ultimate decision. So I'm a financial advisor, but I work with the team. My new assistant's actually starting on Monday, which is pretty exciting.
That's exciting.
I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
She and I have been texting for weeks about this, so we're good
Yes.
to go, right?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I work with my team. We create a game plan. We present it to the head coach, and then we make decisions as a team.
Right.
And during that meeting, I tell people I can be one of three people to you. I can either be your guru who kind of knows it all. I can be your guide who kind of points you in the right direction.
Right.
And if I think you're making a bad decision, I will be that gladiator who fights with you during that.
Right.
We may disagree on the outcome, but I think we're going to arrive at a better outcome that way. So it's more of it's all a relationship built thing. And if you don't like your financial advisor, you can't talk to them. I joke around. A lot of my clients, I say, hey, let's go grab a beer. And they're like, yep, we're good. So
Right.
that type of relationship.
And that's where, Northwest Mutual, maybe you can explain a little bit more about all the different things. I mean, like working for William Ravis. Ravis is a one-stop shop. We have everything there. I mean, we have our mortgages, we have our insurance, we have our title, and of course the realtor. I mean, it's all a one-stop shop. Maybe you can just elaborate a little bit more regarding Northwest Mutual, regarding what it is. Because, as we drive on the road, there's a lot of financial little startup pops, stores per se. So maybe you can kind of elaborate a little bit what sets you apart.
Yeah, Northwestern Mutual actually started out as an insurance company out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we are the top rated financial through Moody's, S&P, et cetera. We're the top rated financial in life insurance company in the US kind of thing.
Yeah.
We joke around, our ratings only go down when the US government's ratings go down because we can't be rated higher than the US government. So we've been really successful at that for, since Abraham Lincoln was giving speeches. We've been giving dividends back to our clients. And then in the last 20 years, we started taking on the investment title, and we're one of the fastest growing companies in the US with investments, so that we can do that holistic financial planning. So when we talk about what we offer, we offer disability insurance, life insurance, investments, retirement accounts, annuities. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything you could need for finance.
Sounds like real estate. It's all one.
We try. I mean, short of actually putting out the legal paperwork for wills and trusts and those sorts of things, because we're not lawyers. But we have great relationships with many lawyers, so we have the resources to do those things.
Right. Wow, that's pretty cool then. So that's where that definitely sets you apart, and I'm sure that's why you've been working at Northwest for a bit there. Okay, so now let's ask you this question that I have up my sleeve. So how often should a client review their financial plans?
So that's a great question. And again, it's kind of an individualized thing, minimum once a year.
Okay.
Some clients want to be involved, a little bit more than that. So, we talk about having semi-annual reviews, a check-in in say December and then another one in June to make sure everything's going in the right direction. I have some clients who are very reactive to what's going on in the world, so they want to meet a little more frequently. I have one client who likes to meet every month, another one who meets every quarter.
Sounds like that one likes to just have a beer.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think he's starting to figure out that all the money I make is going to his
Yeah,
alcohol.
get Victor out.
Yeah, it's all right, but we don't mind. But if you're more of a wait and see person, we can do the year. That's not a problem. If you're one of those people who wants to be a little more reactionary to what's going on in the world, the markets, et cetera, we can meet more frequently. It's really at the client's discretion.
Right.
And obviously my availability at that point. So.
Right. Well, here's another one. Like every field, there's always the online field. With the online field, I'm not even going to mention any names, but there are some that you could go on and you can do your investment and try to do that. Any positive or negative that you would have to say about that?
The downside is you don't have that interaction with somebody to bounce the ideas off of and make those decisions based off history. A lot of what I see when I see some of that online stuff is that people don't do their research when they get into it. It's, oh, my buddy does this, so I'm going to go run off and do this.
Right.
And it discourages that point where we say, this is what you're actually investing in. When I make a recommendation, I send them a prospectus and I say, this is what I'm putting you in. Let's talk a little bit about it. Doesn't make sense for you. This is why I think it makes sense for you. Do you agree? So you always have that person who, again, another advantage about working with an actual advisor versus robo advising online and stuff is you probably don't have time in your busy real estate practice to be sitting and staring at the screen every once in a while, right?
No. And this is where you have to have, I always say, even regarding real estate, I need to stay in my lane. I am not an attorney. I'm not a mortgage person. I'm not an insurance person. And I can tell you right now, I'm not a financial advisor. So I can tell you if it's a good, advise you if it's a good thing to purchase something. But regarding if you've got a chunk of money, I'm always referring. Because again, I try to make sure I stay in my lane with my expertise. So,
and that's really the long and short of it is it's that building that relationship and being able to trust the person that you're talking with. And like you said, it's that staying in your lane. I've had clients come to me who are not good fits for me in the practice and the direction that I'm taking my practice. Doesn't mean I can't help them. It's just not a good fit. So I'll go to my office next door and ask my guy, Sean, I'll be like, hey, Folan, you want to take a case for me? He goes, yep, no problem. So it's all about, like you said, staying in our lanes, finding our right fits, and making sure that, we're doing what's right in the world. At the end of the day, I think too many people are chasing the dollar and worrying less about doing the right thing. And I think if we worry more about doing the right thing, well, the dollars will come.
The dollars come. And that's what I really like about your theory and your philosophy and how you even run and conduct your business. And that is, by giving, it does come back. And that's where, honestly, people, I can connect you with Victor, but you got to reach out, because now, what if they already have like a financial advisor, but haven't heard from them for a while? Is something that they should be touching base with you?
So one of the things I always talk about is, if you like your financial advisor, that's great. I'll probably like your financial advisor too. They're probably not doing anything wrong for you.
Right.
The other thing I always talk about is, Northwestern Mutual is a multi-billion-dollar company. They make a lot of money. And we have other companies come in and audit our books all the time to make sure we're doing the right things.
Right.
At the end of the day, taking a meeting with me and going through your financial plan and seeing what we offer and how we're offering it, I like to compare it to, if you go see a doctor and they say you need a knee replacement for X, Y, and Z of a problem,
right,
are you going to go get a second opinion?
Yes, you would. Right.
So it's the same thing with the financial plan. Chances are I'll take a look at your plan and be like, yeah, person's doing a great job.
Right. Exactly. Oh,
but at the end of the day, if they're not, I'll be here to say, listen, I think we might be able to do some things better for you. And these are our ideas. Take them or leave them. If you take them, cool. If you leave them, you mind if I call you again in 6 months to make sure things are still going the way you want to?
Right. That's great. So how do you help navigate clients that maybe they've just had a marriage, they've just, they've just got married, or they have kids coming and like all that other stuff. Like, how do you help navigate with that type of client?
So those guys are, I love working with new families and people who just had kids because those are big life events.
Yeah.
And when those things happen, people don't realize the financial ramifications of them. What are
Yeah.
the tax implications? Oh my God, I just had a kid. What happens if I disappear in the next 2 years
Yes.
due to
Right.
unfortunate passing? And building those layers of protection and security. I love working with newly married couples. And part of the reason why is because from my experience, they haven't had a really deep money conversation yet. So I get to
Right.
be like the mediator in the room when they're having the conversation. And sometimes I'll saddle up next to the wife and be like, so this is what your husband's thinking. And then I'll slide to the other side and I'll be
Yeah.
like, so that's what your wife's thinking. Or my favorite example is, we're illustrating how much life insurance somebody needs. I always look at the wife and I go, I'm going to do you a favor today.
Right.
I promise you. I have powers beyond powers. I'm going to kill your husband, but don't worry, I'll bring him back in 5 minutes.
Right.
Sound good?
Right.
And everybody gets a laugh. The tension
Yeah.
level goes down, and then we start talking real things. So it's just
Yeah.
about forcing people to have that conversation.
Yeah,
You have
because
the
it's
conversation,
amazing.
you make decisions.
Yeah, and you just never know. We all take today for granted, so you just never know what is tomorrow brings, and that's where the life insurance and whatnot is just so important, especially for a young couple or young couple having children, and making sure things are all taken care of that way. Do you see any trends right now going on in the financial world?
People are really starting to get TikTok educated, I would say, where you see those TikTok videos about how to become your own bank and, how to invest your money and those kind of things. And they're coming to us to implement their plans that they're pulling off of TikTok or Facebook or YouTube or those places.
Really?
What ends up happening is, a lot of the time what I see in some of those TikTok videos is, they tell you a great 30 or 40% of the story. They don't tell you the other piece.
Right.
And they're only telling you the fun part. They're not telling you the reality, the harsh realities on the back end, right? So kind of combating that, I think, is a big trend. Another big trend is obviously, we have an election in the US going on Tuesday. So a lot of people are scared about what direction the markets are going to head, what's going to end up happening. I don't read a crystal ball. I promise you, I failed that class in college of whatever that's called, but
I'm still taking my class.
Good. Let me know how it goes, because I need an expert in my sphere.
Look
I need an
inside.
expert in my sphere with that. But yeah, I mean, big trends are, interest rates are starting to fall again. So people are starting to look at things that have lasting value, whose value never goes down, similar to interest rates. I mean, right now you can get a great high yield savings accounts. I found them online from anywhere for between 4 to 5% of interest coming back on it annually, which has been really great. I mean, a couple of years ago it was as high as 1%. So great stuff. But I'm already starting to see those numbers pull back from the highs of last summer. And people are just looking for safer places to put their money where they can get consistent growth and protection and those kind of things.
Right. Oh, so that's good. So, all right. So let's wrap this up. But if you were to get any final advice at all about someone who's looking to build wealth, besides calling and contacting you, what other advice, or is that the only one you have?
Nah, I got lots of advice. I'll help out.
So any good advice that you would really have of people that are trying to build their wealth?
Start early, start often. The reality is, I talk to a lot of folks who hold off on pulling the trigger on making a decision. And they say to me, I'm expecting this raise in 3 months. Do you mind if I start in 3 months? And I say, yeah, absolutely. We can start in 3 months. We can start today. But when you get that raise, why do you want to wait until you get that raise before you do that? Oh, because I want to see how much extra money I have to put aside, et cetera, the whole way around. Cool. I get it. But what ends up happening is when you wait that 3 months, you get that raise, and then, you wait another 3 months before you actually talk to me.
Right.
So you're used to that lifestyle creep that keeps going up. And then it's, well, now I don't have the money to save.
Yeah.
So it's one of my favorite things is working with people in their 20s and saying to them, listen, if you save now, when your lifestyle improves, one, you'll naturally be saving more money anyways, because
Right.
you're used to it at that point.
Right.
But because you started so early, you don't need to put as much away.
Right.
Reality is, if you want to save $1 million and you're 25, invest a little less than $400 a month into a retirement account of some sort. And
Right.
chances are, the way the stock market has historically performed, you'll end up with $1 million. You'll put about 180,000 in to get $820,000 of interest. If you wait 10 years till you're 35, you're
Yeah.
putting in about $980 a month. Wait until you're 45, you're putting $2,000 in.
Not listening.
Yeah, and it's a snowball. So I think a huge thing is talk to your kids about it, let them know about it.
Right.
Leverage tools that are out there.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, before we get going here and leaving, I always have some fun questions I love to ask.
Sounds good.
So they're just simple ones. It's kind of like a rapid fire type of thing.
Okay.
So it's one or the other. So do you prefer texting or talking?
To strangers or people I know?
I don't know.
Oh, wow. I prefer talking to folks.
I could tell. I think you know, gift to gab.
Former educator, I could talk for days.
Yeah. All right. Do you have a favorite day of the week?
No, I don't.
You
I love
don't?
Mondays. Mondays are amazing.
Why do you like Mondays?
Fresh start to the week, lots of energy saved up from the weekend. My kids get on the school bus, so my house is empty for a little bit. That's always fun.
Right. That's a very good reason. All right, here we go. On a scale to 1 to 10, how good of a driver would you put yourself?
I'm an excellent driver. That's a 10. Everybody calls me grandpa because I do the speed limit. I stay in one lane. I don't pass people. I don't flip people off. I yell, but that's about it.
I'm a 10 plus and I do everything you just talked about. Other words, I'm not in the right lane. I flip people off.
We got to race one day then. I promise you'll win by an hour. It's great.
All right. And this is a fill in the blank. Taylor Swift is
the worst ever. She's ruined the NFL.
All right. You're thinking football.
Sorry, she ruined the Super Bowl for me this year. All I heard about was Tay Tay, Tay Tay, Tay Tay. How many times are we going to see Tay Tay? Too many. One is too many. Unless she's doing the halftime show. Who's
your favorite football football team?
Oh, New England Patriots. My first son's name's Brady.
Oh, there we go. Woohoo! All right, good. All right, here's another one. Cake or pie?
I thought you said these were easy questions. They're not.
I do stump people on this one.
I don't know. I saw a 23-layer chocolate cake the other day that looked amazing, so I'd have to choose that cake.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I would. That sounds really good. All right, say a word in Spanish.
No habla español.
There you go. That's a big word. That was good. All right. Is double dipping ever acceptable at a party?
100%. Pretzels have two ends for a reason.
Oh, there we go. All right. Here's a movie one. Godfather or Star Wars?
Godfather.
There you go. Did you ever go to sleepaway camp?
Yes. Every summer for 7 years. Boy Scouts of America was an amazing experience.
Wow. That's cool. What state did you do that in? In Connecticut?
6 of the summers were in Connecticut. One of them was in northern Minnesota.
Wowza. Beautiful. Very cool.
100%.
Here's your last one. Say good day, mate, in an Australian accent.
Good day, mate. Let's throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Okay, listen, folks, if you're looking to talk about your wealth, looking to set yourself up and try, money is a tough subject for people to talk about, but you already got a little flair of Victor here. He's a great guy, very personable, and I trust him. And with that, I highly recommend. So, but Victor, before I go, anything else you'd like to mention or something else?
I mean, the only thing I would say is, I'm always open to having good conversations. I tell everybody who eventually comes on board as a client or even a prospect, I say, listen, at the end of the day, it's just a conversation. If at the end of the conversation we think we can do something to help each other out, we'll do it. And if not, we'll part ways and still be friends.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's great. Well, look, everybody knows how to get hold of me. Victor is also very easy to get hold of. So love to connect you. Just again, maybe it's time to review. Maybe you haven't talked to your financial advisor in a while. There's a lot of things. If you re-listen to this broadcast, you will realize maybe there's a reason you should be talking to Victor. So thank you again for your time. And
Well, thank you.
we will chat soon. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.